Hello everyone, I am here for a flip through of this field guide journal. Sorry, wire in the way there. Can you see that wire? Yeah, it's kind of in the way. Hold on, let me just get this wire out of the way. There we go. Okay, so this is a field guide Lapbook journal, and it's made from two different field guides. One is a field guide to insects, one is a field guide to the butterflies. And they're connected with a 3-inch soft spine. And there's a journal in between, and I will show you the inside. So it's just closed. I have a closure. I've got a piece of sari silk that goes through into this eyelet and is glued into the back side of this book. Excuse me. And same on here, it's glued to the back side of this book, and then there's paper underneath. So that is very sturdy and it's not going anywhere. So you open it, and your first book is the field guide to the insects. And on the field guide to the insects side, I can zoom you in just a smidge, I think. On the field guide to the insect side, there is another fold out envelope. Sorry. There is the field guide, the fold-out envelope. So this is a gusset envelope, just a small gusset, made from a file folder, and it just closes, it wraps around this post. And you open it, and inside I have just included a whole bunch of some of the more interesting text pages from the field guides, including the instructions on how to fold paper to collect insects, already deceased insects that you've found. And it's just using little rectangles of paper, and it shows you kind of this origami envelope that you can make. And remember that, because that's going to come into play later on in this journal. So that just wraps around like so. And it's just lightly decorated with some labels and some stamps. I didn't want the end of this to be super bulky, so instead of putting on a charm or anything, excuse me, I've just had this terrible chest cold. I just put on two little file folder circles. So this is reinforced with some washi tape on the spine there, and some washing tape on the spine on the inside as well. And then on the inside here, there are two envelopes that flip out, and inside each envelope is sorry, I might need tweezers to get in there with my fingers. This is an actual tea card. One is of an ant in there, and in this one, it is a butterfly. And these are stamps. I think these are Mackie stamps that I have colored in with watercolors, and I stamped them onto craft card label maker paper. And then behind there, this is just decorated with a page of a book called Undercliff by, oh, I'm blanking on her name. Anyway, the book is titled Undercliff. Okay, so then that back. Then on this panel here, this is a pull-out panel, and on these panels in the pull-out panel is a slide, but this slide is open, so you can use this for hidden journaling. This butterfly is printed onto tracing paper and then glued on. So it looks like a simple slide, but you could totally do some journaling, hidden journaling on there. And this does have acetate on here. The acetate that I used on all of these windows was the old acetate cover that went over the jacket of one of these books. So it's real kind of vintagey acetate with some good yummy looking aged Scotch tape. And then this one has that same vintage acetate in it, but it opens like so. And then these flaps open up, and there are just some die cut, what are these, Rolodex cards that I got from Tracy Fox. But this has some real old sticky tape on it there. I'm so sorry. Oh, that's why I haven't been doing videos lately. It's because I can't talk without coughing. Okay. So that just slides in there, and I leave it up a little bit so it holds that down. And this is just lots of little labels and a little glassine envelope with more labels. And here's another tiny glassine envelope with some washi sticker butterflies and some more labels. And then on this side of it, there's a pocket here at the base with a whole bunch of, this is just an interesting card, but these are all the color plates from the books, from the field guides. So you can use them for identification or what have you. There's washi tape here. This is a piece of Crafts Consortium paper in the back. This fold out is a piece of Crafts Consortium paper as well. And then this should just slide right back into that spot. Don't know what it's hitting. Should not be hitting anything. Oh, I got it. I don't know what the problem was there. That's fine. Okay, so that slides in there. That slides in there. And then these three teeny tiny slides paper clip off, and they are not, they're not sealed up. And there's just a little fussy cut butterfly or moth in each one that is just paper clipped on there. And these paper clips are on a piece of file folder belly band just to provide a place for those paper clips. So those can be altered to however you would like. On the back side here, this is a pocket. Let me move this over a smidge again. This is a pocket, and this opens up as well. And I have some stamped bugs that I have also then colored in. And this is just on cardstock. And that folds up. You can easily replace that with your own things. There is another T card in there that slides out that way. This is the original library book guide for one of the books. And I've just stuck some ephemera in there, and it's on as a pocket. So there is a tag that slides in and out the back, like so. So this just folds up like that, and it tucks underneath there, and that is the first panel. I have a flat pen that can slide in and out through this elastic. And then on the back panel, I have two gusseted pockets with little labels and some more book color plates and a collecting slide that I made ages ago. And in here, there are just more pages, and there's more color plates from the butterflies and moths. And there's still tons of room in there. So that's the first book. Then in the center is a journal. And I think there are 16 or 17 pages. These are from one of the books. This is bubble printed paper. This is real vintage paper. There's some other book pages in here with insects on them. Some various different types of paper. There's that book page. And in the on this page, this has a little tuck in it, and I put the cover to the field guide to the insects just tucked into that pocket. Sandy, what are you doing? Oh, it's okay. I thought she was in the bathroom in the garbage. In the center here, this is a deconstructed, reconstructed, grungy envelope a la Jibbid Neri. Thank you, Jibbid. And they're empty pockets that open from the top on both sides. I did not make a thumb hole because I didn't want to disrupt the collaging that I've done all over both sides. This journal is sewn in as a standalone thing, but it slides underneath this ribbon in kind of a flow journal way. And there are some little charms on the ties for this. So then there are here are the rest of those, the back side of all of those pages. So that's a nice little journal that you can take out, in and out. There's another line here that you could put something on. I did not put anything on there because it does kind of need the space. And then in the back here, we have several interesting things going on. We have this little charm that you pull up to move the elastic away. And then you can pull this little booklet out. This is real waxed canvas that I've sewn into a little sketch notebook. And there is a piece of chipboard at the back and some mixed media paper for sketching or painting or what have you in there. And this is replaceable. And this can be removed so you can take that into the field with you, throw that in your purse, and take it with you sketching. And then this, you just pull on that charm and it pops into that elastic spot. Here's a spot for another pen, maybe a watercolor pen. It is sewn on either side. I'll show you. One of these kinds of pens will fit nicely in there, and there's a little pocket so it won't slide through. But I'm not including that. And over on this side, this is an Altoid tin, and it is just an empty Altoid tin. If you would like to know where to get the little 3D printed plastic insert in here that you can use for watercolors, I will link a store on Etsy in the box below if you purchase this, or if you just want to buy them, where you can turn this into a little watercolor palette. But my thought was that as you're collecting insects and you're wrapping them up in your papers, you would store them in here until you get them home. And this sari silk is sewn onto this. This is real wool felt. And this wool felt is adhered to a piece of craft card so that is then adhered to the back of the book. So it is super sturdy. And you just tie this. I do find that if I tie this bow down here and keep this bow up higher, then they don't superimpose and make it super big. So I just try to space the bows out. And then behind, this is on as a belly band so that there's this little envelope that fits behind. And this has some onion skin rectangles that you can use for your folding and collecting of, excuse me, of insects or what have you. Dried flowers will work. And that slides behind. And then in here, this is a real vintage button sewn onto a pouch. And the pouch is a little scrap of fabric that is lined with real wool felt. And in here is one of these super cool tweezer magnifying glass combos that just lives in here so that you can pick up your insects and get a really good look at them. So this is an Entymology field guide lapbook. So you see, here's what I'm talking about. If you put the bow up and this bow down, when you close them, the bows don't superimpose, they lay next to each other. So that goes like that, and that folds up like that. And then all you have to do to close it is give it a little bit of a jiggle and a tie. There's a lot of room left on here. I like to push that down a little bit so that the corners are protected. There's a lot of room for expansion with the journal on here. And yeah, so there's the spine and the back cover. And that is my Field Guide to Insects and Butterflies Entymology Lapbook. This will be listed on Etsy momentarily. I hope you would go check it out, and I hope you have a great day and stay safe. Thanks. Bye-bye.